Hi students, today we're going to talk about how to find the volume of a rectangular prism, a triangular prism, and a cylinder. So first, the definition of volume. Volume means how much space is inside a three-dimensional object. And a lot of things we see in real life, they're three-dimensional objects. So the big idea for today's lesson is you would always use the base area. So everything has a base, and then there's a height. So times the height. All the shapes that we deal with, they're going to have a base and a height. Now let's have a look at these three shapes. First, rectangular prism. As you can see, the side that's facing us is a rectangle and has 6 sides because it's top, bottom, left, right, and front and back. So we can call this the length, and that is the width, and this is the height. So in order to calculate the base area, which is a rectangular shape, we use the length times the width, then we times the height. And a cube is also one type of rectangular prism. Next, we have triangular prism. So the base is right here. That is our triangle. And we learned last week, in order to calculate the area of a triangle, we need to use the base times the height of the triangle, and then the most important thing, times 1/2. And then we are going to call, since we already have a height, we're going to call this part the length. So then we times the length, but it's still the base area times the length. Last, we have the cylinder. For a cylinder, the bottom is a circle, so the base is a circle. We also learned how to calculate the area of a circle last week. So we have r, and the base area is going to be pi times r times r squared. That's the base, which is the circle. Then we're going to call this the height, so we multiply by the height. So basically, we are just going to identify what we need and then put them in these formulas to calculate. So a real life example, in order to calculate the volume of a pizza, we have pi, which is pi, times z. Z here just means the radius of the pizza, times z, and then times the depth, which is a. Okay, now let's see some examples. The first one, we have a cylinder. I'm just going to write the volume formula right here. Pi r squared h. So as we can see, the r is right here, 2 centimeters. And the height is right here, 4 centimeters. We just need to put them in. So pi times 2 squared times 4, which gives us 16 pi. And you can put that in your calculator, or just leave it as it is if it is asking for that. And the unit is centimeters squared. Second shape, we have a rectangular prism because we can see, well, everything is every side is a rectangle. So we have B equals length times width times height. I'm going to call that length, that is width, and that is height. We just need to replace these letters with these numbers. So length is 4, width is 5, and height is 10. So we have 20 times 10, which is 200, don't forget a unit, which is square meters. Now the last example, we have a triangular prism because as you can see, this shape right here, that is a triangle, which is why that's the triangular prism, which means the formula is 1/2 base times height times length. For the base, this is the base because that's a triangle, so B is 6. Next, for the height, we're talking about the height of the triangle, so that means the height is 5 because this is the height. Last, we have the length. The length, in this case, it's if we actually tilt it over, how tall the thing is. So that is our length, which is 10. And now we just need to replace these numbers for the letters. So 1/2 base is 6, and height is 5, and length is 10. We just need to multiply them together. 1/2 times 6 is 3, times 5, 15, times 10. That is 150. Don't forget a unit, square centimeters. And that is everything. Thank you.